What's up, everybody? It's Brian Jester, co-founder here at Occupy Fantasy, and I'm here to show you our new tool at OccupyFantasy.com, our KBO DFS Occupy Model. Yes, that's Korean Baseball DFS. The Occupy model you know and love from OccupyFantasy.com is here for KBO. If you're not familiar, the Occupy model is our real-time player dashboard that ranks every player on the slate, and it updates automatically as betting odds change, as starting lineups are announced, as the weather forecast changes. It's all updated here in the Occupy model. I'll put the link in the description below so you can access it. It will be 100% free for the entirety of KBO. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below and we'll be sure to answer them for you. Another way to get your question answered is to hop in our Twitch stream. That Twitch link will be in the description below also. Every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern, we will be answering your KBO DFS questions and analyzing the Occupy model live. So be sure to check that out as well. So what I'm going to do in this video is just get you acclimated to the KBO Occupy model, show you what the different tabs do, show you what each of the categories means, explain a couple of the metrics, and then show you how to utilize it to create profitable KBO DFS lineups. And if you do like what we do, go ahead and click that subscribe button below. That way you're notified when all of our latest videos are released. So when you open the KBO Occupy model, it is at the top of the Occupy Fantasy menu under the Occupy model, naturally, KBO. So once you click it, you'll be taken to the batters page. That is the first part of our Occupy model. And also be sure to utilize the quick links here at the top, where the first link is our daily fantasy baseball strategy guide, goes into how to create baseball lineups for DFS, the metrics that you should use, how to incorporate weather. It was written for MLB, but it still applies to KBO DFS as well. That's free too, so be sure to check that out. Our KBO daily plug, which will be linked here, is our daily plug, our write-up that we do every single slate. So it takes what we see in the Occupy model and puts it into a digestible format and gives you strategies and advice on how to use it for that slate. That's a written article that you should check out. Again, that'll be free as well for KBO. This Occupy model link will be the link to this video. And the Occupy model, what is the Occupy model? It just links to our frequently asked questions to explain what the model does. So again, starts with the batters tab, and at the top of each of the sections in our KBO Occupy model, we have these filters that you can use to either sort by name, the team a batter plays for, the time of the game, FanDuel and DraftKings positions, their order in the batting lineup, and whether or not they're a low-risk play or not, and we'll get to this here in a second. So as you see here, in the batters tab, we had to list both the DraftKings and the FanDuel name just because like 99% of players are listed differently or spelled differently on FanDuel and DraftKings. So we put both names here for you just so you have that at your fingertips. The team they play for, their opponent, the time they play. The biggest thing you'll want to look at here is the OF index, and that is our proprietary metric that, as you see here, we can sort by OF index. That is our proprietary metric that takes into account every single piece of the Occupy model to give you one easy to read number to rank every single player on the slate. It's not fantasy points, it's not points per dollar, it's not the normal metrics you see. It is just a pure metric to capture every single piece of information about a player. So Seung-Yul Lee, the top player in our model tonight according to OF index, based on his projected power, his projected on-base percentage, his stolen base potential, the weather, the park, his opposing pitcher, betting odds, everything goes into one number, and which is why he is ranked the number one player on the slate. All right, we have FanDuel and DraftKings positions, of course, their salaries, order. This is their order in the lineup where they're hitting. So Seung-Yul Lee is hitting fourth in their lineup. This next column, we just added it, new for the KBO season, is a confirmed or projected column. And if you see a P, like Seung-Yul Lee is, or like every player on this particular list is today, these are projected lineups. Once we have an actual lineup and the model is updated with the confirmed lineup, these will turn into check marks, so you'll know that they're confirmed players definitely playing. Team total is the projected team total in the betting markets for each player. Team total move is how that team total has moved since the lines opened at the beginning of the day. So very important metrics. And then lastly, some of the hitting metrics for a player. ISO, isolated power. Be sure to check out the strategy guide to explain that in depth. It's basically a pure power metric, home runs, doubles, triples. WOBA, weighted on base average, takes every single hit into account. More of a floor metric than ISO, but still showcases upside as well. Stolen bases, projected stolen bases for the slate based on this player's historical base stealing potential combined with the opposing catcher and pitcher's ability or inability to limit base runners. And then finally, we take the weather and the park and we give a boost or a decrease to each batter based on historical metrics on how hitters have performed in that park, and then what the weather is telling us about hitters for that slate. So lots of columns here. We understand it can be overwhelming, but again, OF index is your key, and then these other columns are to kind of show you why that OF index is so high or so low. All right, let's go through the pitchers tab. We'll click pitchers, and a very similar setup. Filters at the top, FanDuel and DraftKings name, team, opponent, time, OF index, salaries, you name it, the normal stuff. ML is money line, the betting market money line for that player, for his team, for that game. Win percentage is expected win percentage based on that money line. Money line move is how that money line has moved since the lines have opened at the beginning of the day. Team totals, opposing team total move, similar to batters. This is for the opponent. K per innings pitched. This is projected strikeouts per innings pitched. We can sort by that. As we know in MLB DFS, same with KBO, strikeouts are king for pitchers, and you can sort to see who has the best projected strikeouts per innings pitched on the slate. This is based on historical numbers, based on matchups, left-handed versus right-handed hitters on the actual lineup. So not just in general, it's actually matchup based for the lineup that's in today. Pretty impressive. And then the weather and park factors, same as you see with the batters. So 2 different tabs, batters, pitchers. And once we go through all these tabs, I'll come back at the end to show you how to utilize it all. Okay, stacks. We click stacks. This is our stack dashboard. It ranks every single stack on the slate. So every single hitter for a team is ranked by combined OF index, their OF index rank, their isolated power rank, their weighted on base rank, their team total, their money line percentage, which is what percentage of the bets are they getting in the betting markets, and RLM is reverse line movement, which means if they're getting less than 50% of the bets, but the line moves in their favor, that's pretty good indicator of success for their team, and they'll see a check mark here when that's appropriate. And then we have stolen base rank, which is ranking each stack on the slate as far as stolen bases go. So lots of different metrics to look at here, but this is a great way to look at, okay, I'm playing a contest. Stacking is king in MLB DFS. It's the same in KBO, if not more. So we can look to the stack dashboard and say, okay, which team should we look to get the most hitters in our lineup for tonight? And then use these various metrics to make our decisions. All right, you want more in-depth info on the weather for tonight's slate? Let's see here, let's go back to pitchers. Why does Dan Straley get a 2% boost in the weather? Well, let's click the weather tab, and we'll see that in the weather tab, we list each matchup's precipitation chance, the temperature at the game. Air density index, which you see here at the bottom in the legend, is a formula combining altitude, air pressure, humidity, and temperature. The higher the air density index, the better for hitters. And you'll see, the higher, the better for pitchers. Lower is better for hitters. Think about Coors Field in MLB, which is we know is the mecca of hitting for MLB DFS. The air density index in Colorado for most Coors Field games are in the 40s, just to give you a reference point for what you'll see here. Wind, this will let you know if the wind is blowing in or out, center field, left field, right field. It'll show here. And then for each batter, right-handed and left-handed hitters, what percentage boost or decrease do they get to their projections based on what these columns say. So lots of factors. All of this is updated live. You don't have to do anything. It automatically updates when these things change, when a forecast changes, when a lineup changes, when betting odds change. It all updates for you. All right, so Brian, how do I use this? This is a lot of information. Okay, this is what I do. Again, we're running out of time here, so I'll go through quickly the best way to use it. All right, we start with pitchers. We see, okay, who are the top ranked pitchers on the slate? Dan Straley, Young Jong Yang. They're the top 2. Oh, sorry, actually, this is sorted by strikeouts per innings pitched. Let's sort by OF index. We got Straley, DeSpagna, and Yang at the top. Brigham rounds out the top 4. Okay, how do these guys rank on the money line? If they have lower money lines, less likely to win, Generally more high risk plays. How do their strikeouts per innings pitch stack up compared to the rest of the field? So lots of different factors to look at. We'll see here. If we see a pitcher that ranks high in the model, has a great strikeouts per innings pitched, has a high money line, he's normally a pretty good play in low risk contests and high risk contests too. High risk contests, we'll look specifically at K's per innings pitch, who has the most upside. Straley, Yang, Despagne, Brigham, these guys, the same four in the top of the model. So this lets us know who the pitchers we should try to target in low risk, who are the pitchers we should try to target in high risk. And then I'll go to the stack section next, the stack dashboard. All right, ranked by OF index, these are the hitters with the highest upside. These are the teams with the highest upside. What I'll look at is team totals compared to OF index. And we see that the NC Dinos, the number 2 ranked OF index on the slate, only has the 5th highest team total. And we even see a little bit further down, Sam and LGT have the 8th and 9th. So it looks like Hanwha's team total is not updated yet. When it's in the model, we're able to compare that too. But if you see a high OF index team, high OF index stack, compare with a high team total, they'll likely be popular, good low risk plays, huge popularity, good possibility of success. But when you see guys like the Dino specifically with a number 2 ranked isolated power, it means they have a lot of power potential, and they're only the 5th highest team total on the slate. This is a perfect type of team to target in high risk contests. So if we go to the NC Dinos, let's go back to the batters tab. And in teams, we can just look at NC Dinos and see, okay, who are the top players for the NC Dinos? And let's try to get 3, 4, 5 of these guys in our lineups. Okay, we want to pair them with Hanwha. How they look with each other. Look, we can get Hanwha and NC Dinos guys in the same filter by clicking both of their teams here, and then try to make a lineup of 8 of these guys. 5 guys from one team, 3 from another. Very simple way to use it. Now, if you're playing low risk lineups, what you want to do, the final tutorial here, is looking at guys who hit in the top half of the order. You don't want guys hitting 9th, 8th. They're going to get less at bats than guys in the top of the order. And every at bat is crucial in the low risk lineup. So you can look at guys, if you go to order, there's one way to do this. There's a long way. You can look at guys who are hitting 1, 2, 3, or 4 and only use these guys for your low risk lineup, and you'll be pretty good. Or we made it even easier for you. You don't have to do any work. You can click the low risk filter, and these are guys that hit in the top half of the order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have a projected weighted on base average of 300 or higher. 340 or higher, actually. Pretty significant bar to clear in the KBO. So these guys are projected to get on base, and they're projected to hit high in the order tonight. Not overall, not for their career, not for the season, tonight. So you can use this player pool for your low risk contests. Combine that with pitchers with high money lines and high rankings in the model. You have an easy way to build your lineups. One point of emphasis here, and we talk about this in the Daily Fantasy Baseball Strategy Guide. When you're making high-risk lineups, start with your stacks first, fill in your pitchers last. When you're playing your low-risk lineups, start with your pitcher first or pitchers first, and then fill out your hitters next. All right, that'll do it for this video. Again, if you have any further questions about the model, how to utilize it, what something means, go ahead and comment below. We'll be happy to answer it for you. Or you can hop on our Twitch streams every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Occupy Fantasy. That link is in the description below. The link to the KBO Occupy model is in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you get all of our latest videos. And OccupyFantasy.com is where you can get not only the model, but the KBO daily plug as well. One final thing for you. A lot of our Twitch subscribers are having fun in our Discord. They're talking about not just KBO, but all the DFS sports that are happening right now. And you get access to our Discord if you are a Twitch subscriber. You can do so for free with Amazon Prime. Certainly encourage you to do that. All right. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Let's make some money using the KBO Occupy model on FanDuel and DraftKings. And until next time, I'm Brian. Take care. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.